Hey, church family, I've got a question for you. And my question is, what does Jesus look like? Some of you, upon hearing that, immediately think, that's a ridiculous question. Why would you even ask that? Everyone knows what Jesus looks like. He is the most painted figure in all of Western art, recognized everywhere as having long hair and a beard, a long robe with long sleeves. In fact, Jesus is so familiar that whenever his image appears, it's immediately recognized, whether it's on a tortilla or a piece of toast or even on the side of a garage. But did he really look like this? Probably not. Artists throughout the centuries have painted various portraits of Jesus, often applying their own ethnic and cultural characteristics to their portrayals. And of course, movies have variously portrayed Jesus, ranging from handsome, strong, and confident to wimpy and weak. The Old Testament prophet Isaiah gave us some insight into Jesus' appearance when he wrote these words about him. He said, "He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him." The fact is, we have no literary or artistic sources that can tell us for sure what Jesus actually looks like. I would suggest to you that today, in a very real sense, Jesus looks like his followers. And God's desire is that the longer we follow him, the more we would grow to resemble him. 2 Corinthians 3:18 tells us, "And we who with unveiled faces all reflect the Lord's glory are being transformed into his likeness with ever increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit." The scriptures tell us that the church is Christ's body, and each believer is a part. Together, we serve as the hands and feet of Jesus in this world. By our actions and by our words, we represent Jesus to others. Someone has said that you may be the only Bible that others read. I'd encourage you to pause and think about that for a moment. You may be the only Bible that others read. That's a sobering thought, but it's true. People are watching us, whether we realize it or not. They hear our words, they see our actions, and they observe our attitudes. And from those observations, people draw conclusions about us, our values, our beliefs, our character, either for good or for bad. Furthermore, if you're a Christian, outsiders are making judgments about Christianity based on what they see in your life. Sadly, some in the public eye who claim to be Christians leave an unfavorable impression upon unbelievers. They're sometimes seen as charlatans, hypocrites, and phonies. In our business dealings with others, if they see duplicity and dishonesty, it dishonors Christ, not only him, but it discredits Christianity. Racial slurs, off-color jokes, and crude offensive comments about others drastically diminish our influence for good. Our salt loses its saltiness, and our light goes out. People see it, they read it, and they react accordingly. While it may be unfair, people will sometimes judge an entire congregation by one person they know. And if that person is hypocritical, unkind, and unfriendly, they label the whole church as a bunch of hypocrites. Have you ever invited someone to church only to have them sarcastically respond, "Yeah, I know someone who goes to your church"? Unfortunately, you know what's coming next. For good or for evil, our lives are living letters that others are reading. Some folks will never read the Bible, but they will read our lives. So what does Jesus look like? One day everyone will know for sure when we stand before him and see him face to face. Until then, the best answer we can give to that question to a watching world is that Jesus looks a lot like us. Amen.